The Cleveland Browns are collapsing in a way that feels almost cinematic, an unraveling that's gripping, ugly, and heartbreaking all at once. What's happening inside that locker room isn't just a case of losing games or a few egos clashing. It's a full-scale organizational meltdown, a slow-motion implosion that's threatening to destroy everything the team has built. The Browns, one of the oldest and most passionate franchises in football, are once again staring down chaos. But this time, it's different. This time, the collapse has a face, and that face belongs to Myles Garrett. The superstar defensive end, the beating heart of the franchise, has finally reached his breaking point. And when the cornerstone of your team starts to crumble, everything else follows. This all began quietly, with whispers of tension between Garrett and head coach Kevin Stefanski. But those whispers turned into roars when Garrett publicly confronted the coach about favoritism, leadership, and the direction of the team. For weeks, things had been festering beneath the surface. Frustrations over offensive struggles, questionable coaching decisions, and what many players saw as blatant bias towards certain players. The Browns' record sits at a miserable 2-6. Their offense is among the league's worst, and the only thing keeping them from total embarrassment has been Garrett's superhuman performances on defense. He's been single-handedly holding the team together week after week, and yet he's the one being made to feel like the problem. After yet another humiliating loss, this time to the New England Patriots, Garrett let his emotions spill over in a raw and brutally honest post-game press conference. You could feel the pain in his words, the exhaustion of carrying a franchise that seems determined to self-destruct. He spoke about how hard it is to pour everything into every snap, to fight tooth and nail every play, only to watch it all unravel because of mistakes you can't control. He didn't point fingers, but the frustration was clear. Something is deeply broken in Cleveland. He's a man who wants to win so badly that it hurts, but who's trapped in a system that refuses to change. Stefanski's response made everything worse. Instead of showing understanding or accountability, his comments came across as cold and dismissive. He brushed off Garrett's emotional honesty as just frustration and implied that such feelings shouldn't be directed at any one player. But everyone knew what he really meant. It was a veiled rebuke, a public shot at his own star for daring to care too much. That moment was the final fracture. Whatever respect remained between player and coach shattered right there under the bright lights. A leader should never undermine his best player, especially one who's done nothing but fight for the team through every loss and setback. But Stefanski did exactly that, showing a shocking lack of awareness and empathy. Now, the situation has spiraled far beyond repair. Garrett has reportedly accused Stefanski of blatant favoritism, claiming the coach has been protecting quarterback Dillon Gabriel while refusing to give Shedeur Sanders a real chance to compete. For Garrett to voice that publicly, even indirectly, means the situation is dire. The defensive captain questioning the head coach's integrity isn't just a disagreement, it's a declaration that trust is gone. Garrett's words have exposed what many inside the locker room already felt, that the team's leadership is broken and that decisions are being made based on loyalty, not merit. The locker room has fractured into factions. Some players stand behind Garrett, agreeing that Stefanski's stubbornness and favoritism are tanking the season. Others remain silent, afraid to challenge authority or desperate to avoid being dragged into the feud. The result is a divided team, one that stopped fighting for each other and started fighting among themselves. Once that happens in football, it's almost impossible to recover. You can fix schemes, you can fix lineups, but you can't fix broken trust. Every week the Browns take the field. They look less like a team and more like a collection of individuals trying to survive the chaos. Meanwhile, other franchises are circling, smelling blood in the water. Reports have surfaced that the Philadelphia Eagles are preparing a massive trade offer for Garrett, multiple first-round picks and more. The New England Patriots are said to be clearing cap space for a similar move. Around the league, front offices see an opportunity to steal one of the most dominant defensive players of his generation from a team that's falling apart. And if the Browns actually entertain those offers, it would signal the ultimate collapse. Trading Myles Garrett would be like tearing the soul out of the organization. It would send a message that dysfunction has won, that leadership has failed, and that Cleveland's future has once again been sacrificed to cover up the mistakes of the present. It's not hard to see why Garrett has had enough. Week after week, he's been playing out of his mind. 5 sacks in one game against the Patriots, countless pressures, and game-saving plays that have kept the Browns from complete embarrassment. Yet no matter what he does, it's never enough. The offense can't move the ball, the coaching staff refuses to adapt, and the front office stays silent while everything burns. For a player of Garrett's caliber, that's soul-crushing. You can't keep giving everything for a team that refuses to meet you halfway. You can't keep carrying people who don't seem to care as much as you do. The heart of the frustration lies with the quarterback situation. Gabriel's mediocre. Play has been obvious to everyone watching. Missed throws, stalled drives, turnovers, and key moments. Yet Stefanski refuses to make a change, continuing to back him unconditionally while Shedeur Sanders, a promising talent, sits on the sidelines. The whispers around the league are getting louder. Maybe Sanders' injury isn't as serious as the team claims. Maybe it's being exaggerated to justify keeping Gabriel as the starter. If that's true, then Garrett's accusations of favoritism become even more explosive. It's one thing to make poor coaching decisions. It's another to compromise the team's integrity to protect a player who hasn't earned it. Inside the organization, silence from the top is deafening. General Manager Andrew Berry hasn't spoken publicly about the situation. Ownership hasn't stepped in. Everyone seems to be pretending nothing's wrong, even as the franchise's foundation cracks wide open. When leadership hides during a crisis, chaos fills the vacuum. The fans can sense it. The media can sense it. And most of all, the players can sense it. It's the same old Browns story playing out again, the same painful cycle of mismanagement, pride, and wasted potential. Trading Garrett would be the final nail in the coffin.